About this time of the year, we hear early talk about end-of-the-season awards. When you're thinking about who you'd vote for MVP or whatever, Doris, when do you start giving consideration to those topics?
You know what's fascinating, Kevin, is where all the major awards are considered, particularly the MVP, it feels like there's a narrative that develops back when the season starts. The key as a voter, I think, is to sort of eliminate the noise, look at the numbers, consider the success of teams, and make your decision from there. You've got to make sure you're really doing your research.
And sometimes, am I right, it comes down to the final couple days of the regular season before a voter like yourself knows for sure.
Kev, I have cast my MVP ballot on the last possible day in each of the last 3 years.
Wow. Here are the 5 for the Raptors. Anunoby and Siakam in at the forward slots. Fred VanVleet out there with Lowry, and it's Ibaka in at the center, locking down the middle. And for the Pacers, Brogdon and Oladipo, the backcourt duo. Sabonis and Turner up front, and it's Warren in at the 3 spot. Throw good, Siakam.
Guys, how about the journey of the Raptors' Nick Nurse? So well traveled before taking the head job in Toronto. This guy has shown his worth. In his first season as a head coach in the NBA, it translates to a title. Absolutely incredible.
He hits both from the stripe. And Coach Nick Nurse paid some dues, Doris, before his turn as head coach of this Toronto team.
Well, think about it. Early in his career, he's a player coach in the British Basketball League. Then he goes and establishes a G League franchise in his home state of Iowa. Then to lead that team to a title in 2011, join another G League team for the Raptors and win a title in 2013. Really an incredible journey, guys.
And slam dunk by Sabonis.
I'll tell you, Domantas Sabonis has got some big-time athleticism. That's a pretty dunk.
And there's the call on Malcolm Brogdon. That's his first foul.
Yeah, quick foul to pick up right away here in the first quarter.
Lowry against Brogdon. This one for 3. Lowry can't get it to go. And here's Oladipo. He'll bring it up for Indiana. It's Brogdon on the wing. Back to Oladipo. Launches it. Buries the long-range jumper.
Oladipo becoming a major threat from distance. Nice.
Lowry against Brogdon. Now Lowry, a 32-point game for him in the win against Indiana.
And we have to mention his rebounding. It wasn't all about the offense. He battled his tail off down low.
Great rim protection to prevent him from converting. Beautiful.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul. Oladipo outside. Now, here's Sabonis. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Raptors in Toronto.
Well, in addition to the scoring, he found ways to initiate contact from the defense and get himself to the line. The defense clearly frustrated, trying to get a way to stop him.
6 on the shot clock, and there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That'll be his second foul of the game. Powell, he's checked in for Toronto. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. To the middle. It's stolen by Ibaka. Here's Anunoby. Good, and VanVleet gets the assist.
Boy, how do you match up with OG Anunoby's length and athleticism? This guy is going to be able to get shots off because of both of those.
Now, here's Brogdon. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against Toronto.
Well, you also have to credit the way he controlled the pace of the game and was able to create for his teammates.
And here is VanVleet after the three-pointer from Victor Oladipo. Siakam against Turner, and that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. Siakam kicks to Ibaka. 6 to shoot on Anunoby, and the jumper falls for him.
And what an assured player. Anunoby believes in his ability to shoot the ball off the catch.
Brogdon the pass to Turner. Here's Oladipo. Brogdon outside. They get a hand on it. Indiana again turning it over. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
Yeah, they just got ambushed. Not really expecting the comeback. And I mean, it came on quick and strong, but I think it could be a good lesson for them moving forward.
Now here's Powell. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. And Oladipo kicks to Brogdon. And there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. That is his first foul of the game. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Shot from 12. Oladipo misses. For Toronto, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field. Coming into the NBA, Victor Oladipo, Greg, drew some comparisons to Dwayne Wade, but it was working out with D-Wade that helped take Victor's game to the next level.
And listen, anytime you're the second overall pick, which he was back in 2013, stardom is expected. It just took a while. Now he's got to apply that same work ethic to overcoming the knee injury.
Now Powell, after Victor Oladipo missed from long range. Just 5 on the clock. Fires from the wing. Oladipo with the block. Warren on the wing. No good that time. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Raptors. Trailing by 2. Last time they met was in Toronto.
Yeah, and they really squeaked out a close one in that last matchup. Came down to just a few turnovers that gave them the margin of victory.
Well, the increased playmaking ability of Pascal Siakam on display. Pretty pass.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game.
Boy, you look at all the athletes on this team. How about Pascal Siakam? This guy may be the fastest power forward in the NBA. And if you couple that with ball handling, this guy is tremendous in transition.
And here's a look at the stats for Brogdon. He's been more than solid over the last month. He's putting up about 14 points a night, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. You know, you look at the numbers and you think that this is great, but we know that he's capable of even bigger production.
You know, the numbers look okay, but the eye test tells us unequivocally he is capable of more. That is the sign of a star right there.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And the speed and quickness of Siakam, not just an asset in transition. Doris defensively, he is something special.
There is no doubt at 6'9", but he's got a 7'3" wingspan. Siakam's combination of length and mobility, tailor-made for the modern NBA.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
I think the Indiana Pacers, as an organization, a team that tries to grow its own superstars. Miles Turner certainly a guy in that conversation. The 11th pick back in 2015, he has gotten better every single year.
Oladipo hits them both. And Doris, you look at Turner's impact. It's definitely at both ends of the floor.
No doubt, Kev. Turner was the league leader in blocks last season. He became a much more efficient three-point shooter. And now all of a sudden he's becoming a better facilitator out of the post. Just great development.
T.J. McConnell, he's checked in for the Pacers. Here's Van Vliet. Plenty of room to knock down the shot.
Well, OG Anunoby is going to continue to develop his game, and that pass, that was pretty.
McConnell passes to Oladipo. Indiana again missing.
Well, if the defense gives him that shot next time, they could get burned. I think he's just a little bit out of rhythm. Well, just a little too physical out there right now. That's already his second foul.
And you hear it all the time about how they say reaching the top can be the easy part. It's the staying there that's the true challenge. And Victor Oladipo achieved stardom, but has to make his way back after his knee injury in early 2019.
That's good from Oladipo. And Oladipo had already dealt with soreness in that right knee, and you talked about that. Missing about a month earlier in the season.
And some suggested he came back too soon. Hindsight always 20/20, and players want to be out there to help win games. Sometimes teams have to protect them from themselves.
Now here's Van Vliet. He had 10 points in the win against Indiana.
And he passed the ball so well in that game, keeping everybody involved, even as he was racking up all those points.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Lamb, he's checked in for Oladipo. Siakam against Sabonis. Siakam kicks to Anunoby. And he's good on the three ball. Anunoby's got 7.
Nice job by OG Anunoby to be aggressive from distance.
McConnell passes to Sabonis. Back to McConnell. Left side, Warren. The pass to McConnell. Indiana moving the ball around. Clock is at 3. Here's Lamb. Kept alive by Indiana. Here's Turner. Sabonis, the pass to Turner. They shoot again. No good. Not a friendly rim at all this trip down.
And they've come out with a take no prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Here's Van Vliet, and it's sent back by Turner.
How about Turner's ability to anticipate when the shooter's going to release? Couldn't be better at timing his rejections.
Sabonis against Ibaka. A shot by Sabonis, nobody around. Gets a very good look and converts. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. They trail by 1. Anunoby in the corner. Shot clock at 6. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to go on Sabonis. 2 seasons at Indiana for OG Anunoby, and the 23rd pick of the 2017 draft. Great talk about his game.
You know, NBA ready physically from day one. You know, still working for consistency with his shooting, especially at the free throw line. But I like his potential as a two-way player.
First free throw is good.
And it seems like every team is in search of the, quote, power wing. The guys that have the quickness to defend on the perimeter and the strength to battle inside. OG Anunoby certainly fits the bill.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Boucher is checked in, and it's Hollis Jefferson in for Pascal Siakam. And a 7'2" wingspan for Anunoby. He's got the reach, Doris, of a big man.
He does, Kevin. He also has the strength of a big man, but he's got the versatility defensively to guard across 4 positions. It's about finding consistent minutes for OG because the potential is there, Kevin.
And it's denied.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Hollis Jefferson passes to Davis. Outside Thomas. The Raptors need to get a shot off. Anunoby. There's Hollis Jefferson. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
But how about the persistence from Hollis Jefferson? He's keeping possessions alive with his activity.
Pass to Lamb. Back to McConnell. Passes it to Holliday. Indiana needs to get a shot off. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. Look at Toronto. They're holding on to second spot in the conference. A great season for them so far. And, of course, the Pacers. They're in 5th place.
Yeah, and seeing where the Pacers are, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
Yeah, even so, though, I'm sure they're not satisfied just being near the top of the standings. They're going to be looking to make a major push as this season winds down.
Now here is Holliday. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Raptors in Toronto.
And it wasn't only his scoring. The intensity on defense. He nabbed 3 steals that night.
Thomas, it's a wide open look. That's in there. Davis with the assist.
You know, that's a great time to pull up and shoot the 3 in transition. The defense never had a chance to set up and get a hand in his face.
Thomas against Lamb. Pass to Holliday. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
It's Davis on the wing, guarded by Holliday. Boucher passes to Hollis Jefferson. From the arc. And it's Davis missing. Pacers trail by 6. The pass to McConnell. Here's Bitadze. And Davis pulls it down.
This is a quarter he'd rather forget. This guy just can't seem to get the lid off of that bucket.
Toronto working the ball around now. Kicks it to Thomas. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Lets it go from deep. And it's McConnell with the rebound. Indiana's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from 3-point range so far in the first. Passes it to McDermott. And 1:01 left in the first quarter. Connects from 3-point range.
Well, Doug McDermott, a high IQ basketball player, understands when his teammates are open how to find them.
Outside Thomas. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
And he's got his first chance at the line here. The Pacers making a switch here. Holliday's checked in. .43 seconds left to play here in the first. Pass to Lamb. Beyond the arc. Kept alive. Bitadze. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. He's off on the second.
Boy, a really tough quarter for this guy. Just struggling to make shots right now.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to be on Doug McDermott. The Raptors shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And how about as a group, 80% on the season, one of their best attributes.
The first one falls.
And doing a good job getting to the line and capitalizing.
And both free throws good for Davis.
You want to contest this guy's shot, but you absolutely don't want to send him to the line. He will make you pay.
Lamb against Thomas. And here is Lamb. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Outside Holliday. There's Bitadze. And so it's Toronto, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They've been playing some ferocious defense. Back right after this. And let's listen to Pascal Siakam talking about the work ethic of his teammates.
You come in every day. Guys in the gym every single day. So I used to think that I was always the hardest worker, but, you know, just coming to seeing guys, the amount of work that they put in, trying to get better each and every day.
And, Greg, when everyone is working hard, it builds a chemistry.
And a culture. Kevin, winning teams all have it. It's not enough to be here. You want to win.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. What do you guys think about the Raptors here in this one?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Setting the floor for the Raptors. Lowry and Powell, the guards. Hollis Jefferson is out there with Thomas. And it's Boucher in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
See, the athleticism of Norman Powell is a problem. This guy understands how to get defenders committed to him.
And he makes the first. Of course, you can't help but notice that teams are shooting earlier in the shot clock. One theory being the faster you shoot, the more possessions you get.
Well,
and the numbers would speak to that.
No doubt, Kevin. And the reality is, for announcers and for fans, that breakneck pace makes it more exciting for us. One NBA coach told me this past year that your field goal percentage in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock gives you your best opportunity to make it. And the longer that shot clock goes on, the more your field goal percentage dips. So, hey, good for us, good for the fans, good for the teams.
And that's because the defense has a chance to settle, correct?
Exactly right.
And here are the Raptors now, following the score by Indiana. Lowry feeling it out a bit. Powell, no one around him. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. And here's Brogdon from the arc. That shot off. And Toronto will come the other way. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Well, it's easy to score when you're facing very little resistance. That's why their offense looks so good in that one.
Well, give them some credit for taking advantage of a weak defense and capitalizing on every mistake.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game.
And his defense so valuable. Not many can bother that shot at the rim.
Boy, you see the effort. You see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down.
Now here's McDermott. He's coming off a 19-point game against Toronto.
Well, we love his ability to attack the rim. He just loses a little bit of focus and misses the chippy.
And there's the pass to Lowry. And the Raptors miss again. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And here's a look at some numbers for him.
He hasn't been at his best this month from a defensive standpoint. He's not being as aggressive as he needs to be, and it's bringing his steal numbers way down.
And he knocks down the first one. The Raptors making a switch here. Ibaka's checked in. He's perfect from the line this time.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Sabonis inside. And there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. That's foul number 2 for him.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
Oladipo, he's checked in for Aaron Holliday. Siakam is checked in for Toronto. Fred VanVleet comes in for Hollis Jefferson. And the shot by Warren, no good. Raptors leading by 9. VanVleet finds Powell. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Powell's got 4 points now in the quarter. Brogdon the pass to Turner. Powell against Warren. Back to Turner. Dishes it to Warren. Poked loose. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. And the dunk by Powell.
This, to me, is where he can be lethal. In fast break situation, Norman Powell's speed's a problem.
Here's Brogdon. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Oladipo. And a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. Brogdon's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Lowry against Brogdon. Pass to Siakam. Clock at 6. And the foul on Victor Oladipo. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
3rd foul of the half, and that's the risk you take leaving him out there.
Turner with the steal.
That's just phenomenal defense. The defense feels like it's all over the place and knows exactly how to guard it.
And Ibaka slams it in.
We call that floor vision, gentlemen. Kyle Lowry with the pretty pass.
And only 6 feet tall in shoes. Fred VanVleet's not the biggest, but his toughness grade, his toughness, mentally and physically, is unquestioned.
And Kevin, growing up in Rockford, Illinois, gave him that perspective. Friends and family gone too soon. Basketball was the path to something better.
Here's Brogdon after the made shot from Kyle Lowry. On its way from Oladipo for 2. Nice 4 for 7 from the floor with that shot.
Well, it's a difficult guard contending with Victor Oladipo because this guy is prepared on the catch to make a shot.
Here's Lowry, and it's off the back rim, no good. And Brogdon has got the ball here for Indiana. It's a 13-point game. Warren, good.
So committed to scoring near the cup. T.J. Warren, nice touch.
Toronto, they've gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Lowry kicks to VanVleet. Passes to Powell. 5 on the clock. Over Oladipo. Powell, that's good. Powell's got 8 here in the quarter.
Well, a tough first quarter for this guy. You like to see the shot go in. Nicely done.
Oladipo outside. Here's the three. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
That's his first triple of the second period. Third of the game.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto. Boys, what's the best combination of inside-outside basketball you see offensively now?
Well, two guys really come to mind immediately for me. It's Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis, because both men can face up and knock down shots in a legitimate enough fashion that you've got to get out and contest those guys. But the other side of this is they can play in the post and be a legitimate back-to-the-basket force who you've got to guard with more than one guy. I mean, how exciting, Kevin, are Joel and AD to watch play?
They are thrilling. I would agree. Well, the shooting guards you see listed there have been the ultra-reliable players for the past month. Take a look at their percentages from the field during that time. You take a look at Powell. You know what you're going to get from him day in and day out.
You know, in tight or outside, these are all very reliable and consistent shooters. It's a safe option to put the ball in their hands and let them create something for themselves.
And a lot of times, those shots they create for themselves come right at the basket. As good a group of shooters as they are, they don't just settle for jumpers. These are players who are willing to attack the rim.
And here's Lowry after the three-pointer from Victor Oladipo. Floats one up. No good on that one.
Boy, the wheels have definitely fallen off in this quarter. He cannot buy one.
The feed to Turner. And it's Turner finishing it off.
Now, Victor Oladipo's passing skills probably unappreciated. This guy is very unselfish and capable.
Here's Siakam. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. Now the Pacers moving it up. And the wide open shot from Warren. Good. And it's Oladipo picking up the assist. And now just a 3-point Raptor lead. Van Vliet passes to Siakam. Back to Van Vliet. Foul for three. That's in, and that's his fourth basket of the night. He's taken 7 shots, a solid 57%.
I'll tell you, this guy is proving to be a problem for the defense. In this quarter, he has been special.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his third foul of the game. T.J. McConnell, he's checked in for the Pacers. And Toronto also making a switch. Anunoby, he's checked in for Kyle Lowry. McConnell with it. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Pass to Warren. 6 to shoot. Poked away from deep. But they recover it. They get it back. And Turner kicks to Sabonis. And the dunk by Powell.
This is Powell at his best. In attack mode, he is hard to stop.
McConnell scanning the floor. Now the Raptors moving it up. Anunoby, good. Anunoby's got 11. Pacers trail by 10. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kyle Lowry is hard-nosed, as we all know, and if you ask him, it comes from his upbringing in Philadelphia. Lowry said, "A Philly player is what a basketball player is. We played on concrete. You got to be mentally tough. You're not trying to be athletic. You get hit the wrong way, you run into a metal pole." And Kevin, that's what made him, from Philly to Villanova to Toronto, to an NBA champion.
I don't know about running into the metal pole, but that sounds painful. But he's certainly as tough as he can be. David, thank you. And the foul called on OG Anunoby. That'll be his second foul of the game. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touched by Sabonis. Well, the Raptors' Nick Nurse winning an NBA title in his first season. Greg is an NBA head coach.
The first time a head coach who'd also helmed a team in a foreign league has won it. Nurse often reminisces fondly on those days coaching in Europe. And this summer, he was entrusted with coaching the Canadian national team at the FIBA World Cup.
I think, guys, maybe what you appreciate most about Pascal Siakam is his versatility. He can score from a number of areas. He can guard multiple positions. There is a lot to like about this young man.
Throw good, Siakam.
And the most improved player in the league last season, Pascal Siakam got better in every statistical category.
The Pacers making a switch here. McDermott's checked in. Siakam hits them both. And it's those diamond-in-the-rough players that so often elevate the top teams. And, Greg, that's what the Raptors found in Pascal Siakam.
No doubt. The 27th pick back in 2016. Now a full-time starter on a rookie contract, just over $2 million this season. He is due for a big raise.
The Pacers shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. Doris, such an honor to be on this with you. And you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst. Breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
Now here's Davis. An 11-point game for him in the win against Indiana. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense.
And the move back to his more natural 5 position has rejuvenated Serge Ibaka. More room to operate offensively, and defensively he can stay in the paint where he's effective.
And so he hits the technical free throw. And Ibaka's shooting ability, Doris, had enabled him to play some power forward, but his mobility was being tested.
Correct, because at Ibaka's size, it's tough to ask him to chase smaller guys around the perimeter. He is much better suited playing inside and protecting the rim. I think you saw that last season.
Now here is Davis. 5 to shoot. From deep 3-point range. It's rebounded by Indiana.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
Boy, we're seeing it more and more. Guys looking to create additional space by stepping back further from the line.
McDermott passes to Lamb. Floats one.
You feel like Jeremy Lamb has been in the league forever, mostly known for being a piece in the Harden trade when he left OKC, but Lamb is coming to his own the last few years.
The Pacers have been coming through at the charity stripe. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good.
And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
And Lamb drops them both. So it's Toronto now. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Outside Thomas. Good D by Holliday. And Jeremy Lamb, you feel like, Greg, he could be kind of a late bloomer.
The improvement he's shown the last few seasons has been huge. Much more comfortable as a scorer, and the defense has picked up for him as well.
Bitadze can't hit.
I'll tell you, it feels all night like this guy's been forcing shots, rushing shots. He's really struggling on the offensive end.
Holliday against Davis. Now the pass to Hollis Jefferson. Shot clock at 5. Anunoby kicks to Davis. Over Holliday. Offensive rebound. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And a perfect time here to look at all the teams that score the most points off turnovers. Here are the real stats, real scores from the real NBA. The Raptors in second.
They're so aware defensively. I mean, an opportunistic group in terms of forcing miscues and getting out in transition. And boy, do they do a great job of taking advantage.
First free throw is good.
And the potential Anunoby has is exciting. Has the athleticism, the shooting touch, and the drive to keep improving.
That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. And the Toronto Raptors knew in trading for Kawhi Leonard that he might not stick around. Even after his decision to return to his hometown of Los Angeles, Greg, the Raptors have to feel good about the way it all worked out for him.
Kevin, the first championship in franchise history, and now they set about working their way back to the mountaintop. Some talented young players and quality vets, not to mention an outstanding front office. I think it'd be a mistake to count them out.
I'll tell you, OG Anunoby showing you what could happen if he puts it all together. Doing work, OG.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Davis. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. For Indiana, they have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. Second free throw, no good. And it's the Raptors' ball. They're on a 13-5 run. Boucher passes to Thomas. Davis kicks to Boucher. Davis looking for an opening. Over Holliday. Davis with the bucket. Davis has got 5 points so far. And so it's Toronto. 13 points up at the end of the period. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. It's Toronto with the advantage at the half. They have a 13-point lead. Shaq, what was your takeaway on Toronto?
Well, one thing that stands out is how few turnovers they had. The offense looked in control. They were making nice passes, moving the ball, setting screens. The confidence just seemed to build, and the lead did too. They're a very steady team, keeping those turnovers down, that's the big factor.
Kenny, what did you think about Indiana?
Well, they're trailing in this game because they're shooting under 35%. Now, I've got to give a lot of credit to the defense, forcing the shooters off their spots and making them feel uncomfortable. But if someone takes something away from you, you have to be able to adapt. So they need a whole new game plan because right now they're in trouble.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. You look at Victor Oladipo in this game, he has been everywhere.
And the way he goes at defenders, he is bound to get to the line just like he did there in that first half.
I have to love his tenacity. This guy stays in attack mode, makes defenders work, tries to keep them off balance.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Sabonis and Turner up front. Ogden and Oladipo, the backcourt duo. And it's Warren in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Pass to Van Vliet. Outside Lowry. Three-pointer. It's rebounded by Indiana. Turner's got 6 rebounds in the game. Down low, Oladipo. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Oladipo's got 22 points.
Well, Victor Oladipo has turned himself into an all-star caliber talent, refuses to be denied inside.
And that's a foul called on T.J. Warren. That is his first foul of the game. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Toronto. Outside Lowry. He kicks it to Ibaka. Pass to Anunoby. Clock at 4. Shoots over Warren. And the shot will not go from Anunoby. Inside. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Greg, you talk about the quiet producers in the league. T.J. Warren is one of the first names that come to mind.
The last few seasons, Warren has come close to chipping in 20 points a game. Doesn't do anything flashy, but he just hits his shots and piles up the points on a nightly basis.
No good on the free throw.
Well, you think back to T.J. Warren and how good he has been for the last few years. And yet last season, he took a huge step forward by adding the three-pointer to his arsenal.
And the second free throw, good. And the way Warren improved his three-point shooting last year, Doris, was incredible.
No doubt, Kevin. This is a guy who went from below 25% the year before from distance to making over 40% of his range shots. He did all this while coming close to tripling his three-point attempts. What an improvement.
Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Some nice passing here by Indiana. And Fred VanVleet is going to pick up a foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Raptors on defense. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Kyle Lowry picks one up there.
And a player who flew under the radar last year, Malcolm Brogdon. Pacers wanted to add him over the summer. Got a hefty deal from Indiana to leave the Bucks. Exactly the kind of player that the Pacers need.
The first one falls. And truly some significant roster changes for the Pacers this past summer.
Jeremy Lamb, Malcolm Brogdon, T.J. Warren. They've gotten younger and gotten better as well, if you ask me. Excellent work by the Pacers front office.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
And Toronto choosing their team name back in '94. The fans helped them narrow it down, and with dinosaurs all over the silver screen, it helped tilt things towards the Raptors.
And we all remember those early uniforms, those giant velociraptors across the front. Fortunately, they've toned it down a bit since then.
Here's Brogdon. The Raptors getting the bucket. Pass to Warren. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
Oh, picked up his 4th foul. Maybe have to scale back his aggressiveness with plenty of time left in this one.
And this is his 2nd trip to the line tonight. First one falls for him.
It seems to me, guys, that T.J. Warren every year adds one more dimension to his game. We know this. This guy can play on the offensive end.
Both free throws good from Warren.
And something that's troubled Indiana the last 3 years, rebounding.
I think, Greg, it's probably manifested at both ends of the floor, right? Some of it's about roster construction. Some of it's about style of play. Some of it's about philosophy. But their inability to control the glass has at times had an impact on them.
And here is Brogdon. Serge Ibaka making his last triple. Oladipo outside. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
Well, Victor Oladipo won't back down from a challenge. He isn't afraid of getting a little bit nasty if the defense sort of sets the tone.
He misses the free throw.
Well, what do you do with more responsibility on your plate? If you're Victor Oladipo, you ascend into one of the game's top talents. This guy, his hard work and mentality paying off.
And he's good on the second.
With the Indiana Pacers, you know you're a small market team, and it's led to a little bit of a shuffle personnel-wise. What's incredible, they continue to put a competitive product on the floor year in and year out.
Here's Van Vliet, and the Raptors hit again from deep.
I'll tell you, he'll take that all day, every day. I'm sure he was shocked to find himself that wide open.
Brogdon the pass to Sabonis. From 6 away, back to Brogdon. Another shot, good on that shot, and with that, the Toronto lead is cut to just 11 on the basket from Sabonis.
Well, Domantas Sabonis has a nose for the basketball. He understands if he keeps moving, he's going to get to the offensive glass.
And there's the call on Malcolm Brogdon. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Norman Powell's checked in for Anunoby. Siakam left side. Takes the 3. He can't hit that time. And it's Warren with the ball for the Indiana Pacers. They trail by 11. And the pass to Brogdon. Sabonis kicks to Oladipo. Got a piece of it. 6 on the shot clock. Fast break Toronto. Here's Powell. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That's on Malcolm Brogdon.
Well, one thing there's no question about is that Norman Powell is a gifted athlete. Now it's about rounding out that game, particularly his shooting.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Powell. Doris, you're right. The Pacers have made the playoffs 8 of the last 9 seasons. Remarkable consistency.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, Kev. It starts at the top and sort of trickles down from ownership to the front office down to the head coach. This is a solid operation through and through.
T.J. McConnell, he's checked in for Indiana. Pacers trail by 13. Outside Warren. From deep. It's good from long range. Warren's got 10 points.
Boy, that's 3 for 4 this half. You like that they're starting with a little bit of extra energy. Nice.
And there's the foul. It'll go on T.J. McConnell. That's his first foul.
Yeah, clearly struggling here with the foul. Still early, and just one more will put him over the limit.
Siakam passes to Lowry. Back to Siakam.
And being over the limit this early really can affect your aggressiveness defensively. They have got to play under control.
And this is his 3rd trip to the line tonight.
And he buried a bunch of shots from the stripe in that last game.
Shooting 2.
Throw good, Siakam. Siakam hits them both.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Brogdon against Lowry. Brogdon kicks to McConnell. The Pacers getting another chance here. And it's blocked by Ibaka.
Boy, great extension from Ibaka. His length always a factor.
And Lowry gets it to go.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Now McConnell. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Here's Brogdon, and stolen by Kyle Lowry. Here's Van Vliet. Here's Siakam. Pass to Powell. Fires for 3. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Warren finds Brogdon. Turner with it, and a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. Turner's got 6.
And back in his day as coach of the Blazers, players called Nate McMillan Sarge for his style. Very tough and demanding.
The beauty, though, Greg, to me is Nate McMillan has adapted. He has given more leeway for his players and his assistant coaches. He's willing to take players aside and bring a more personal approach. And I think in today's NBA, that's critical.
Warren the pass to Brogdon. And it's Van Vliet with the rebound. Raptors leading by 12. From downtown, the shot by Lowry, no good.
Boy, he cannot get anything to fall, but the teammates, boy, have they delivered.
And Turner throws it down.
How about that? He's 7 feet tall, and Miles Turner, because of that ability to move in any direction at any moment, is a big-time problem inside.
2 open that time, made it look too easy. Van Vliet's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
And Greg, you know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. Undrafted out of Wichita State, Fred VanVleet, never the most heralded player, Doris. But you know, he says he bet on himself, and it's worked.
No doubt. VanVleet's belief in himself gets him a 2-year, $18 million contract. But I think beyond that, this man, in the moments that mattered most in the playoffs, proved that Fred VanVleet will deliver.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. And then for Toronto, Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Siakam. And Thomas subbed in for Fred VanVleet. Holliday, the pass to McDermott. Poked loose. Now here's Lowry. And you know the points will always be there for him. He's averaging just a shade under 20 points a game right now. From about 19 feet and all around the rim that time before dropping in. Howell's got 4 points in the quarter. Holliday, the pass to Bitadze. Powell against Lamb. Passes to Bitadze. Back to Lamb. There's the three. Kept alive by Indiana. Bitadze with the bucket.
Well, in the rebounding game at least, it's been a strong physical performance for him.
Powell against Holliday. Powell, the pass to Lowry. For the three. They get it again. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, we know that Hollis Jefferson is a tremendous athlete, but there's a physicality as well. Someone who does not shy away from a little contact.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
Well, I think what I like about Hollis Jefferson is he can contribute just a little bit of everything. This guy's got a tremendous motor.
And so he makes both from the line. And so Holliday will bring it up for Indiana. 15-point game. Outside, Lamb. There's the triple, and the 3 ball is good. Lamb's got 5.
And that's good stuff from him. Nice touch.
Thomas deciding where to go with it. Pass to Lowry. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
You know, you think about the most important players in Toronto Raptors history. Vince Carter probably #1. DeMar DeRozan would be on that list. But boy, Kyle Lowry has got to be there as well. Remarkable how far they've come since he joined the team back in 2012.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Lowry. And the Raptors and Lowry both grew together, Doris, wouldn't you say?
A marriage made in heaven. Kyle Lowry has always played with a huge chip on his shoulder. He still carries that edge, but that maturity and leadership turned into a championship in Toronto. Doesn't get better than that.
And so Lowry nails both of them.
I think quickness has probably never been more important in the NBA, but you cannot overlook the value of strength. Think about a guy like Kyle Lowry. He's not the biggest, he's not the most explosive, but he's got strength and he's got that bulldog mentality.
Raptors leading by 14. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And Kyle Lowry, Doris, never shy about contact.
You're right, Kevin. Never shy on either end, offensively or defensively. Kyle Lowry will get into you. He is the tone setter with his physicality and his effort level.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. The Pacers making a switch here. Turner's checked in. And both free throws good for Thomas. And so here is Indiana. They trail by 16. There's the pass to Turner. Takes it from 10. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Miles Turner, the 11th pick in 2015. I think defensively probably the best player out of that class. And if you view it through that prism, you wonder if going back he might have gone top 5.
And he knocks down the first one. And you know, Doris, there were some medical red flags for Turner that may have caused him to slip a bit in that draft.
Yes, but I think he has alleviated any of those concerns. Credit him and the trainers for developing his core and for this young man paying the price in the weight room. He's gotten stronger and stronger.
The Raptors making a switch here. Davis is checked in. Both free throws good from Turner.
Well, the athleticism that Miles Turner brings to the center spot is quite remarkable. This guy, an exceptional player on both sides of the floor.
Now here's Powell. He's got 17. Taken away by Holliday. On the wing, Lamb. Toronto grabs the miss. Boucher's got his 6th rebound on the night. Davis against Holliday. Davis, the pass to Hollis Jefferson. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. And it's blocked. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. Here's Powell. Softly drops in the floater. Powell's got 19 points.
Put it on the deck, get by the defender. Norman Powell on the dribble drive. Okay, I see you.
Pass to McDermott. That one's good, and the Raptor lead has got down to 14 points now in the basket from Turner.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
Now here is Davis. He has 5. And the foul on Miles Turner. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. Victor Oladipo, he's checked in for Justin Holliday. OG Anunoby's checked in for the Raptors. Good on both. Pacers trail by 16. Holliday looking for an opening. Passes it to Lamb. Launches a 3. Doesn't go for him. And it's the Raptors taking it the other way. outside Davis. And it's sent back by Turner. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here. And the Raptors making a change here. Ibaka is checked in. There's 38 seconds left in the third. 5 to shoot. Thomas kicks to Ibaka. And it's Aaron Holliday with the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
Oh, no, he's the last guy you want to put on the line. You can just about book the points every time he steps up there.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. And both free throws good for Davis. And here's Holliday, who will bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. It's an 18-point game, and it's slammed in by Turner.
Well, what he lacks in size for a typical center, he makes up for with all that athleticism. Boy, can he elevate.
Here we go with Holliday running it up the court. Oladipo dishes to Turner. Oladipo against Thomas. Tipped away. It's stolen by Davis. With 1 on the clock. Doesn't go that time. And so it's Toronto with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. Everything's fallen into place, and we'll see if they can keep it going. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
Well, GA, you know a thing or two about a point guard's job. Set the table for your teammates. Done there perfectly.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. On the court for Toronto to start the fourth. Anunoby out there with Ibaka. Then it's Thomas. And there's Davis. And it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 3 slot. It's Davis on the wing, guarded by Holliday. 6 to shoot. That's tipped. Here's Thomas.
Well, this has not been his finest hour, but give your teammates some credit for doing the job of stepping in.
With the shot. Oladipo misses. Here's Anunoby, guarded by Holliday. Davis against Lamb. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Now here's Thomas. He's covered closely. That one falls. Thomas got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Toronto. Davis against Holliday. Fast break. Here come the Raptors. The finish. Flushes it down to finish the break.
Well, to me, this is what Hollis Jefferson does very well. This guy, a phenomenal dunker with the ups he has.
The pass to Turner. We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Shot from 12. Misses off the right iron.
Boy, a clean, close look. What a missed opportunity.
Here's Davis. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, what a job. Punching the ball to the interior and finishing in the paint. Nice.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. Doris, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. what would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive #1 pick, he's going #1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
And some changes here for the Pacers. Sabonis, he's checked in for Doug McDermott. T.J. Warren comes in for Jeremy Lamb. And Malcolm Brogdon subbed in for Aaron Holliday. And then for Toronto, Siakam is checked in for Hollis Jefferson. Fred VanVleet comes in for Thomas. And Kyle Lowry subbed in for Davis. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Outside to Brogdon. 4 on the shot clock. Warren, that's for 2.
I'll tell you, the skilled defensive effort right there. OG Anunoby contesting shots, exactly what you would hope for.
And a wide open look for Siakam. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry.
I'll tell you, it's one thing to do this at home, another to do it in a hostile environment.
Boy, just sheer dominance, the ability to step into enemy territory and flat out take over. This is impressive.
Now here's Oladipo. And the Pacers can't get it to go. Pass to Anunoby. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Shots good by Ibaka.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love, Greg, is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That will be foul number 5 on him. Both teams deciding to change it up. Shot to stop the run. Drains the three-pointer. Sumner's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
The D a little bit too concerned about the ball going inside on the inbound play. They forgot to guard that perimeter.
Here we go, one-on-one. To the right side. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Bitadze can't hit. And so VanVleet will bring it up for the Raptors. They've played a great fourth quarter defensively, allowing only 3 points.
I'll tell you, right now, these guys cannot be stopped.
Boy, it looks like their confidence is at an all-time high, just feeding off each other right now.
And so here is Indiana. After Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. Sumner, a three-pointer, no good. In Toronto, they've gone 6 of 8 from the field in the fourth so far. It's been a great start to this final quarter for them. Here's McCoy. He's covered by McConnell. Siakam passes to McCaw. Doris, basketball continues to gain in popularity around the world, doesn't it? It's amazing to me.
It does. Adam Silver, the commissioner, has said, I believe we can be the #1 spot in the world. Obviously, they'd have to overcome the soccer, and that's popularity. But think about this, Kevin, how inclusive a game basketball is. And the love spans across gender, race, ethnicity, religious affiliation. And the best part about the game of basketball is this, Kevin. When you're growing up and trying to get better, you need a ball, you need a hoop, and you need you, and you don't need anything else.
That is so well said. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Now, here's McConnell. While recovering, McConnell passes to Turner. And here is Warren. They get a hand on it. From 10 feet out, got a piece of it. To the wing right side. Van Vliet passes to Siakam.
Well, Mr. Siakam can elevate well above the rim. Nicely done.
These guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice assisting.
And when everyone's involved offensively, it has a way of helping you on the defensive side as well.
Warren the pass to Turner. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
And he makes the first. And very much a modern offensive game for Miles Turner. Doris not a post-up guy per se.
No, he can shoot the face-up jump shot. He's exceptional at rim running. And think about his running form. This is a young man that tried to fine-tune his stride. He has become a factor now, Kev, going end to end.
Both shots good from the stripe. Doris, we've both been very public in our admiration for LeBron, the face of the league, for so many years. When he retires, and we're approaching that date, who do you think might step up and take his place as the face of the NBA?
Well, probably the most likely candidate is the new and reigning MVP, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is an absolute physical force. He's put on 50 pounds. He's getting more and more skilled. When he adds that three-point shot as a consistent weapon and gets to an in-between game, he will be impossible to guard. Kawhi Leonard, you know, he is now sort of taking over as a multi-time winner of the Finals MVP, and certainly a player guys want to play with. So just a couple of possibilities there, Kev.
Here is Lowry, following the score by Miles Turner. Back to Van Vliet. Passes it to Boucher. Just 5 to shoot. Knocks it loose. Here's Anunoby. He doesn't hit that one. Excellent D there from Holliday. Here's McConnell. And Fred Van Vliet is going to pick up the foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Leaf checked in for Indiana. The Raptors also with a sub. Johnson's checked in. Leaf kicks to Holliday. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Here's Oladipo, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one on Johnson. A lot of people look at that general manager position with the team. I think it grows with some organization, maybe shrinks in importance with others. But by and large, it is more stable than coaching, isn't it? That position of being a GM.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, if you were to ask coaches, one of the things I've heard sort of thrown out there as an idea is when you list the head coach's record, why not list the GM's record as well? Because the reality is success in the NBA is contingent on so many things. What's your ownership like? What kind of front office personnel? Have they made great decisions? Do you have the best possible coaching comparative to the talent on your roster? So much contributes to winning, Kevin.
Miller's checked in for the Raptors. Patrick Mccaw comes in for Kyle Lowry. And he makes the first but misses the second. Helps teams if they can keep the rights to their best player. We see it in other leagues. Could the franchise tag ever make its way, do you think, to the NBA?
Well, this is going to be a negotiation point between the Players Association and the league itself. And the reality is it's going to have to be negotiated. What we know unequivocally, Kevin, is that these players now in the player empowerment era have more control about what franchise they play for and how long the duration of their contract is. How this all shakes out remains to be seen, but it is a point of conversation amongst the 30 NBA teams and the league leadership. There's no question about it.
Here's McConnell. After Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. High arcing shot, and Oladipo with the lay-in. Good. Oladipo's got 26 points. Here's McCall, defended by Sabonis. Of course, in basketball, like many sports, you can call some kind of penalty on almost every play. So with that in mind, where do we draw that line?
I would say that most coaches and most players would say as long as there's consistency with officiating, they can adapt to the way the game is being called. As fans, as broadcasters, what we want to see, we want to see the game remain free-flowing, fluid, pretty, the ability to move and cut and not be impeded in your progress. That's what I want to see.
And we see that most nights.
No doubt.
The first one falls, so both teams changing it up here. No good on the second free throw. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Now, here's McConnell. He's guarded by Johnson. Back to McConnell. Pass to Leaf. Clock at 6. Here's Bitadze, 14 feet away, and the Pacers tack on 2 more.
You have to have the vision to find the open man. Beautiful pass.
Here's McCaw. He's covered by McConnell. On the wing, Johnson.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Here's McCaw. There's the pass to Boucher. Offensive rebound. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
How about the toughness, Kevin, from Hollis Jefferson on the interior? Fantastic at using his length close to the rack to get that contact.
Of course, it seems like Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, is one of the most well-liked commissioners in all of sports, worldwide. Why do you think that's so?
Well, I think he was amongst the most important members of the staff of his predecessor, David Stern, who obviously oversaw the greatest growth in NBA history. The NBA became a global game. But Adam Silver didn't skip a beat. He is a great listener, a great communicator, and I've said this about the NBA for a very long time. It is a league that is in constant self-evaluation process. It is always looking for ways to improve the league, whether that means organizationally or with the play between the lines, and that's all you can ask for, Kevin.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Here's McConnell. Pass to Sumner. Now Holliday. Here's Leaf. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Shot clock at 6. Fires it up. The shot by Holliday, no good.
Boy, he'll usually knock it down if he's left that wide open. Just comes up empty.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. Doris, all right, this is going to come out of the blue here, but if you had to choose between raising the height of the basket or widening the floor or even widening the lane, which would it be?
I have very strong feelings on this, Kevin, and for me it would be widening the floor. And the reason I say that is it feels to me in the last couple of years there are more sideline violations where teams are turning it over because they're trying to get to that corner 3, one of the most advantageous, best shots in today's game. But because that three-point line is so close to the sideline out of bounds, we're seeing too many violations. So if I had to choose between one or the other, I would absolutely widen the floor.
Now here's Johnson.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Johnson. The Pacers making a switch here. Holliday's checked in. So he gets them both. Remember the time, Doris, when it was rare to see stars changing teams? Now we read about it every day.
No question, Kevin. Think back to my formative years watching the NBA as a fan. Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Magic Johnson was a Los Angeles Laker. The trend in today's NBA is that shorter player contracts, more player control over where they want to be. And the reality is this, Kevin, at some point, free agency entered the equation. It's appropriate, it's fair, they've earned the right to choose where they play.
Here's Leaf. Just 5 on the clock. Holliday attacking. Passes it to Sumner. Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. He'll head to the line.
Yeah, you hate to give up a foul on a three-point attempt.
Elbow. 2.
And he's good on the first of 3. Second free throw, no good. And he nails the third. Doris, we know historically the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a four-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number one, the salary cap implications that happen. Number two, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well positioned for a three-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship. Luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals.
True.
This is it's challenging enough to go back-to-back. Forget about four-peat.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Raptors.
You know, their big advantage was points in the paint.
And they found a way to pound the ball inside. And that was working all game long.
And when it's all said and done here, this will mark their 38th W on the year. Jeremy Lamb's checked in for Justin Holliday. Mccoy, the pass to Johnson, sinks the triple.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand.
And here's Holliday, following the three-pointer by Stanley Johnson. Holliday gets the bucket.
Well, you can see it's a matter of pride out there for these guys.
Absolutely. When someone makes a shot, the first thought is, I want my own back.
Here's McCall. Pass to Miller. The shot missing. Here's Sumner, covered by Miller, and a wide open look for Lamb. And the Pacers another three.
Such a multi-talented threat on the offensive end, and you love his confidence.
And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Kyle, congrats on the win. What did you guys want to accomplish and get this win?
Everybody played. We all played together. You know, we stayed, aggressive and stayed the course of the game.
Thanks again, Kyle. Congrats on the win. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. Great job. Thanks so much. And that'll do it, folks. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.